I'm Susan Basham, and this is my Education 210 book report on the book Wonder by R.J. Palacio. In this book, August Pullman, which goes by Augie according to his mom, is attending 5th grade for the first time at public school. And this, actually it's more of a private school than public school, but this is his first time attending school because he had some facial abnormalities, which include having a cleft lip, which he had surgery to remove, and then he didn't really have a jaw, and so they had to have surgery to bring bone from his hip up and put it in his jaw. Also, his sister goes on to tell us about how his eyes aren't where they're supposed to be on someone's head. And then later on in the book, August tells us of how he has to get hearing aids and talks about his ears, how they're the shape of cauliflower instead of actual human ears. And so that's a little bit about his facial abnormalities. He really doesn't tell us much else about that, much about his appearance. So it goes on, and to begin with, he goes and meets up with a welcoming committee, and his principal, Mr. Tushman, sets up, and with this welcoming committee, it's Jack, Will, Charlotte, and Julian. And it turns out Charlotte is just nice to August. She doesn't ever really become his friend. Jack Will really becomes his friend, and you see them do some type of struggling throughout the book, but he really ends up turning to be one of his best friends. And then Julian is always the enemy. He always picks on Jack Will and August, and just because August is deformed, and he picks on Jack Will for being friends with him. And on the first day of school, August goes and sits down at the lunch table, and that's where he meets his friend Summer. And Summer has long, dark brown hair, and that's really the only class they have together, and they become pretty good friends. Then throughout the book, you really get to see how August is treated through other people's eyes. Different people narrate the book. August narrates, Summer, Jack Will, his sister Via narrates the book, and then Via's boyfriend Justin also narrates the book. It just gives a different viewpoint of what each of them are going through when they first meet August and how they feel about August. And eventually they go on and they go to a summer, not really summer, like more of a weekend retreat. And Julian didn't end up going, so they didn't have to worry about him. But they go off into the woods and they meet another boy. He's from a different school though, and he tries to pick a fight with August and Jack, and that's where August loses his hearing aids, but that's also where he really grows into his character, and he really makes a lot of friends when he does this, because two other boys, Henry and Amos, come to his rescue and save Jack and August, and then from then on out, the entire school just loves August, and at the end, during graduation, August gets an award, and it really shows what people with this who are deformed and have special needs go through. I would use this in the classroom to read to my kids, because it really shows not only what you say doesn't only affect that person, it affects the entire school. It talks about how August has this plague of where he is deformed. If anybody touches him, then they are also deformed. They also get the plague, which never is obviously, that doesn't happen, but it kind of shows of whatever you say gets around the school and can really hurt somebody's feelings. I really thought this was a good book. I think everybody should read it. It shows different viewpoints and how people who have special needs, they are just the same as everybody else. So I really did enjoy reading this book. I think it's a good read to read in the classroom. I think it's appropriate for all ages. It can be really sad at sometimes, but it really just turns out to be a good book. And that concludes my Education 210 book report. Thanks.